The purpose is to make it really clear that we are one organisation. There is 800 people working together for 5,500 children, and that is a really awesome responsibility. We are far greater than our individual schools, our individual office spaces. There is far more good that we can do if we come together and share our collective expertise. In a little while, you're going to meet Action Jackson to really give us a good blast of motivation.
You're seated here today because you matter. You're seated here today because you play an important part in the life of a young person, a child. You're seated here today and your job is more than just an educator. You're seated here today because you are actually a leader of a next generation. This challenge that you have is not a small challenge. You are part of that legacy. You're more than just teachers. You are the nurse, you're the psychologist, you're the counselor. You are everything to that child. To rise up this year, we need to focus on the mountain we're sitting on. What do I mean by mountain? How long have you been doing this? Why did you start doing this? What are the things you went through that frustrated you, but you came through victorious? This is why I need you to keep a journal of your growth.
I first met Mary about 4 or 5 years ago when I was training to be a National Leader of Education, and I was struck by the words that Mary was sharing with us about how important it is that we get it right for those children day in, day out, year after year, to really make sure that they reach their potential. Everybody sitting in this room here today is here because we believe in educating children, and in Cornwall we believe in educating them to the very best of their potential so that they can have a life of opportunity and choice.
We might want to ask themselves, to what extent does the curriculum in our school provoke curiosity? We've all got the right to speak up, and I think there's also a role for us to encourage others to speak up as well. If what we are working on and we have a setback, we just pause. If it's worthwhile, we gather our strength and we carry on. And I think it's one of the greatest gifts we can give to another human being is to encourage them. So let's remember, colleagues, we're human beings first, we're professionals second, that the young people we work with, they're human beings first, and they're learners second. Thank you, colleagues.
We're looking to find those things that will give us the biggest gains for our children and our families. We want there to be an honesty about what we're doing. We're going to be really open and honest and know that there is no blame, no shame in the culture that we are forming. We want to hear what the problems are, and we want to work collectively to solve them. And I think particularly this philosophy we're adopting is very translatable to our youngest stakeholders. They understand about working hard. We talk to them about being honest, and we want them all very much to be helping each other as they go about their school lives with us.
Culture is a tricky one because what is culture? And often you might describe, you want a inclusive culture. So you demand that you have this culture in your school. Often senior leaders can do that. But culture is a consequence of the interactions that happen between staff and students and families. Like, that will be the culture that then develops. So rather than thinking about kind of culture as the thing that you want to aim for, like, invest in deep-rooted relationships, equitable relationships and interactions with one another, and then your culture will form.
We're going over to you. Imagine the trust we want to be. Let's think about what our lives would look like, what habits we're holding, what our routines are being. We should start showing up to those habits and those routines, start building them step by step, day by day and week by week, half term by half term, all the way through that 4-year plan that we're working on at the moment. Because I think we don't just become that trust like magic. You build it, we build it. So I think we should start building it together from today. Thank you ever so much for coming, everybody.